Now, ever since I've been trying to get people to get healthy, do more physical exercise, taking care of their physical health and, of course, mental health, the one thing that has stood out, in my opinion, is that there are some people, I would say it's rather the younger side, people who are like 25 and below, who say that it is they're dealing with this anxiety, they're dealing with some kind of malady, if you will, some cases chronic depression, that makes them feel as if they push their limits in terms of whether it is lifting weights, whether it is running as much as they can. They always get this. They end up having this fear, anxiety, if you will, that they're going to make things worse. So there is a saying in Punjabi that is, rather than, this refers to when somebody gets stung by a snake, like in the ancient times. Rather than the venom killing you, it's the fear of the snake bite itself, or the fear of you getting poisoned, that kills you much faster, even in cases where you are not stung by the snake. There's this paranoia leads you to panic and deteriorate your health. So I would say the number one shortcoming of the modern medicine, and when I say modern, I mean just the way it is handled nowadays, rather than like 500 years ago or the beginning or the Greeks or the Romans, is that they try to handle the physical and the mental as if they were completely not dependent on one another. And there's been so many, I would say, revelations, proofs, and evidences, even in the modern medicine, the some such as the placebo effect or the nocebo effect. And what I really like about the traditional medicine, like the Chinese, is that they try to look at both as one and the same. So, reasoning forward from the idea that when you feel good, I think anyone can relate, even if you've never had any anxiety or anything. When you feel good, you perform better. You are able to lift more, you're able to run much faster, you do whatever it is that you do in a much, I would say, based on your own capacity, based on your own limits, you outperform every time you try to push your limits. And obviously, I'm not trying to say that everybody should completely push yourself to the point where you just get to exhaustion or you have a panic attack or a heart attack or anything like that. Obviously not. What I'm trying to say is that if even if you've never had any of those issues or any physical issues, when you are, as I said before, you feel good, therefore you perform better. And then obviously the other way around also, yeah, maybe there's a game that you play, let's say it's football or whatever, and somebody much worse, much less talented than you is able to beat you when you're not feeling good or you're nervous or whatever. And this applies to day-to-day situations as well. So there, I would just bring forth the evidence that your mind is making your body perform better if your mind is feeling better. And as I said, the other way around. But besides this, just think about the idea that, again, this you do not have to have suffered anxiety, depression, or anything like that. You are, when you do plenty of physical exercise, as a consequence of that, you might be physically exhausted, but you mentally you feel better, and the next day you're able to do a lot more. If it is not the next day, you keep pushing just the same way for about 5 days. And the sixth day, it's not only effortless, you do a lot better. And there is tons of evidence, both scientifically and otherwise, that you just you do, when you keep pushing your limits, you feel better. And I think besides this, the opposite direction, like the some kind of physical stress you've been, some kind of burden you've been carrying on yourself, such as I remember not long ago, like a few years ago, when there was this pandemic. Everyone was thinking like, I'm gonna, if I get the virus, I might die, or if I get the virus, I might be, before that, I might be fired for not performing well or whatever. And nowadays, recently, I've been hearing quite a lot of people worried about the hypothesis that AI would wipe out all the jobs. Which, again, if you let the fear attack you and the way you perform, then you've already lost. So therefore, I would just invite you to, first of all, consider these two hypotheses. You feel good, you perform better. And then when you are like having this, you keep performing to your limit. This could apply just mentally as well. But you feel keeping yourself positive for a long time, your potential goes up. You run every day for, let's say, an hour, 30 minutes, whatever it is. After a couple of months, you perform a lot better. Your physical capacity, your lung capacity, your cardiovascular health, your VO2 max, everything gradually builds up. If not quickly, because you're pushing yourself as much as you can. So therefore, I would say, although you might have this kind of fear keeping you from going all in or just pushing your limits, I would just take the leap of faith and trust in my own self that if it is not radically just going mad and pushing yourself to the limits, I think, except for if people who have certain conditions, it might be a good idea to do. But I'm not asking you to go radically all in. I'm just saying, if you just keep on it, if you don't let the fear stop you, you'll gradually get to a point where you are able to outperform what you did. And again, here the most common pitfall is that you say, so and so is doing better than me, I need to push against them. You don't know their genetics, you don't know their pre-learning, pre-training, whatever it is, and you don't know what's going on in their mind, how light they feel or how much more pressure they feel. So don't compare yourself to anyone, compare yourself to what you're able to do, and then gradually push the envelope. More importantly, just stay at it. So if there's any other issue you need to address and you're not able to do, just reach out to me. And also, you can let me know if there is anything specific that you need help on, and also comment below what is the first thing that you're going to work on. Wish you all the best.